So yet again, another green day in the stock market today, guys. What a day. We're going to break down everything that happened today. We're going to go over the stock market in general, the S&P, the NASDAQ, and of course, we're going to break down some stocks, what I'm looking at, what I'm looking to do in these markets. So sit back, relax, take a sip of your coffee, and let's dive into the video. And by the way, if you guys find value, hit that like button, and of course, make sure to subscribe. And now let's dive into the video. So like I said, yet again, another green day in the stock market today. We saw the S&P 500 close up 0.9% as the Dow went up about 0.2%. So not the best day for the Dow, and we will break down some Dow stocks here later in the video. And we had the NASDAQ go up 1.5%. Same with the Russell 2000. And take a look here, guys. The VIX went up 3.4%. And I want to talk about the VIX here in a second, as we had gold go up 0.3% and silver went down not 0.2%. It went down 2%, over 2%. On the day. So let's pull up the VIX here and see where we're at. And like I've said before, time and time again on the channel, guys, I've said this over the past couple of months like a crazy man, right? The VIX, if you guys look on the chart, especially on the yearly chart, you're going to see that it peaks at about roughly 35 to 38 to 40. I mean, it really hasn't gone to 40 in the past year, but, you know, right around 38, 39 is where it's peaked. And on the bottom side here, where the VIX has kind of bottomed out, at least over the past year, it's been around 18, 19 on the lower end. I mean, the low here on the VIX is 16. That was kind of an anomaly. But overall, roughly 18, 19 to about 20, 22 is where the VIX has bottomed out. And look at where we were just yesterday. 22 on the VIX, guys, 23 on the VIX. And I'm not saying we're bottoming out on the VIX and we're going to get a bunch of selling pressure, because we're not quite yet seeing that. I mean, again, we just had a nice green day out there. All I'm saying is now the VIX has come down about 35%, 40%. And I'm not saying for your alarm bells to go off, but you should be watching this. You should be paying attention to this, because if we do start creeping back over, you know, the we're in the mid-20s now, but if this starts creeping up towards the high 20s again, it's going to be a little bit, let's just say, it's not going to be good. Let's just put it that way. So watch the VIX. That's all I want to say here for this part of the video, or just really in the beginning of the video. I wanted to get that out. And going here to SPY, going back to SPY, well, you know, we saw earlier in the day it was over 400, and now SPY is under 400, and it's not breaking trend quite yet. I mean, it's still holding. I mean, obviously we had a nice green day today, and we're still holding this trend, which is good, but, or rather the channel, which is good, either way. And we had a pretty good morning, if you all can see, and I mentioned this in my earlier video. This shot up to about 403, and a lot of selling pressure came in the middle of the day. And I think I filmed my last video regarding the markets at about 10 a.m., maybe 11 a.m. on the East Coast this morning. And a lot of the selling came in at about 1 p.m., so about 2 hours after that last video. You guys can see SPY went from 400. I mean, it was holding 400 all day. That was good. And it collapsed all the way down to 394. We're talking a move of 1.5% pretty much, just like that. So earlier in the day, SPY was up way more, way more. And again, a lot of the selling pressure came in midday, but a good sign for the bulls is we saw buying pressure come in. We got a rally into the close, and going back to that 5-day, 5-minute, we're holding this channel, which we have been holding the past pretty much 1, 2, 3 trading days, and maybe half of what we saw here on the 10th of November. So maybe 3.5 trading days we've been holding this channel between 390, 392 on the bottom side and about 400 to 403 on the top here. So let's see, guys, what direction are we going to pick? Is SPY going to break 405 and make that next move to 415, which was that high from the middle of September, or is it going to fall under this key point at 392? Is it going to start coming down to, let's say, maybe 385, 390 again? We shall see. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. And for Triple Q, let's pull this up. Triple Q went up 1.4% on the day. You guys can see here, like I called out, it filled the gap to 295, and now we pretty much, essentially, throughout the course of the day, came down from 295 to about 290 again, which I guess that's a good sign. You know, it was pretty overbought we got some profit taking, some selling pressure, whatever you want to call it, and that came in the middle of the day like we saw on SPY. Triple Q came down about 2% from about 1 p.m. to about, what was it, 1:30, 2 p.m., so that was a bloody hour. Let's just put it that way. And you can see, again, going back to that 4-hour, Triple Q, even though it sold off, it is still holding 285, which is great. In fact, we're pretty close to 290. So I feel like we're still clearly trading in this window, and this still looks pretty bullish, in my opinion. I feel like we still could start moving towards that, 295 marker again. From that point, we could still, in my eyes, fill the gap to 310, 315, and we'll see where it goes from there. So, even though the VIX has come down a good amount, which you guys shouldn't panic over that, I'm just bringing it to your attention. Even though that's happened, we've seen a lot of green out there, and you might be like, oh my gosh, is selling coming? Even though that's kind of in the back of our heads right now, we're not really seeing it yet on SPY, on Triple Q. They're still looking pretty good from a bullish perspective. So we're going to play it like that, and we're going to, maintain that, outlook here that, we're bullish in the short term based on these charts until the charts prove us otherwise, right? So let me know your thoughts down below in the comments, guys. And now let's dive into crypto very quickly and see what is going on with Ethereum, Bitcoin, Dogecoin, and as you guys probably expected, we're still flat. We're not getting any selling pressure like crazy anymore. I mean, we saw a huge wave last week, and we're not obviously getting any buying pressure quite yet, which who knows if we will here in the short term. I feel like every rally that we see in crypto right now, it's going to be a very vulnerable rally. Let's just put it that way. I feel like it's going to be a sell the rally type of market here for crypto, especially with everything unfolding with FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried. What the heck is next, right? Nobody really knows at the end of the day. So at this point, Bitcoin is still flat, pretty much trading right at 16,800. It's actually up on the day about 1.5%, but pretty much still in this window of 15.5 to about 17,000. And for Ethereum, if I pull this up and show you guys, Ethereum is pretty much in the same window. I mean, it's between 1,050 to about 1,100 on the bottom side here. And the resistance, kind of the top of the channel, has been about 1,300, 1,250, and that's pretty much where we are now. Ethereum's at 1,240 as I'm making this video, so I'm really waiting for direction. Are these cryptos going to dump to their lows from a couple of days ago, or are we going to see a substantial rally here, which, again, with the rally part, I mean, I don't really see what could cause a rally here. I feel like any little short rally, short-term spike we're seeing is getting beaten to the ground a couple hours later, a couple minutes later. So I don't see a catalyst for a rally, but who knows? With the markets, anything could happen. Anything could come out of left field and make these markets shoot up. But for me, guys, I'm bearish on crypto in the short term, and I have been for months at this point. I mean, I was talking about this months ago. I think when Bitcoin was at 35,000, 40,000 still, and I was saying, look, guys, I'm buying more, because if you didn't know, I had Bitcoin. I bought in May of 2020. It was something like 5 to 10,000 range, bought there, sold a year later, roughly in the 50s. I sold the majority of my Bitcoin, and I still hold a little bit of it today. And I told you guys when it was at 40,000 on its way down, 35,000, I was like, listen, guys, I'm buying more at 8,000. I'm gonna buy more and buy heavier. Get my position back in the 5 to 10,000 range. And everybody was like, Stas, you're crazy. What's going to cause it to get to that point? And back then, we didn't know what was going to cause it to get to that point. All I knew was that the economy wasn't looking good. Inflation was running hot. All these growth, speculative companies and coins were selling off. And I just had a feeling that we were going to come down potentially to that 5,000-10,000 point. Have we come down to that point yet? No, but we're pretty dang close. Way closer now than when we were when Bitcoin was at 40,000. So, when things seem like the point is, when things seem like they can't happen, like back when Bitcoin was 40,000, people think, oh, it can't get to 5,000-10,000. It could always happen, guys. It could always happen. And at this point, I mean, we're one more domino away from falling to get Bitcoin under 10,000. I mean, we're one bigger player or one more big player away from maybe, crashing, burn to the ground, and then Bitcoin is going to free fall. I mean, I think it's coming under 10,000. That's just my take. I could be wrong, but I'm sticking to it, and I have been sticking to it. So Dogecoin is flat right now at about 8 cents. All right, boring. Nothing really else to talk about with Dogecoin. But yeah, I mean, crypto's flat. And at this point, we will see the direction in the next couple of days, most likely, as more information comes out about FTX, or maybe not. Who knows? I have no idea, guys. I cannot tell the future. So what do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and you might as well snag your 12 stocks from Webull. Use that link down below. Deposit any amount of money. You get 12 stocks. It also helps out the channel. And with that being said, let's dive into ThinkOrSwim now and break down the stocks that I'm looking at, which there's 7 in particular, and we might do some bonus ones at the end, so make sure you all stick on throughout the video. So Mercado Libre today, did you guys see this thing? This went up a decent amount today, about 6.3%. And the inverse head and shoulders that we called out pretty much played out. We filled the gap to $1,000, and now we broke $1,000. We actually got all the way to 1,040 earlier in the day before pulling down to about 1020, and we still had, I mean, a 6.4% green day. So Mercado Libre right now is holding above 1,010.20, which is a good sign considering that was the high from the middle of September. So I'm thinking it might cool off a little bit here, consolidate at $1,000 for a couple days, but ultimately 1,100's next, and you can see 1,100 was the high here from the middle of August. Then if that were to break, my alert's at 1,150. We could be going towards that point, 1,200. Who knows where this could be going next? But all I know is we're playing out nicely. We called this out. We have a golden cross. We broke 1020, 1,000 in general. That's a good sign. This is heading in the right direction. So Mercado Libre, watch it. You guys got to keep an eye on it. I'm setting my alert. Again, I have one at 1150, but I might as well set another one at, maybe I'll put it at near today's highs. How about that? 1035. That might be the smart spot to put it. So markets that were above 1035 here on Mercado Libre. And the next stock that I'm looking at, guys, is Visa, ticker symbol V. This is another inverse head and shoulders that we called out, and it's playing out. You can see with today's move of 1.5%, not as good as Melly, but 1.5%, not bad. It actually took the highs out here from the end of October being about 210. We momentarily did. I mean, we closed under 210. But earlier in the day, we got up to about almost $215 a share. So that is a very good sign for Visa. And clearly here, if I just clear this the set here, you can see we have a big resistance coming up at about, I think it's 220. Yeah, I mean, if you guys just draw a trend line out, you're going to see 220. That's been a point where 220 and 230, quite frankly, that we have not gotten out of these levels since the beginning of this year. I mean, all year we've been struggling at that point. So Visa, I think right now is in an interesting spot. You know, are we going to see bulls prevail and actually get through these levels for once? We haven't done it in months. Or are we going to get the selling pressure, coming in again at about 215, 220 to then send this thing back under 200? And maybe back to those lows. Who the heck knows? But in the short term here, we have to watch Visa between 210, 220, and then again up to about 230. We'll see how it plays out. So another one that I actually got in the comments recently, and by the way, if you guys want me to cover any stocks, drop them down below in the comments, was United Health Group, which got destroyed today. Well, I don't want to say destroyed. I mean, it had a red day, down 2%. Whether that's destroyed or not, that's up to you. But it had a red day in the midst of an overall green day today. And you can see as of now, it is actually pretty oversold, and we're still holding a trend or an uptrend here based on what I'm seeing, right? You guys see that? Clearly still holding an uptrend. So this is a falling knife, 100%. It is a falling knife right now. But if we start getting some consolidation, some buying pressure, some sort of support at about 500, that's going to be a good sign for UNH. But we're not getting it yet, guys. That's the reality of the matter. And let me see on the intraday chart. Are we seeing any flattening out? Yeah, I mean, we are trying to flatten out at 500. It looks like in the last 2.5 hours of trading, it actually held 500 pretty nicely. So that's a good sign. But we're not getting any signs of a reversal on the 5-day 15, on the 5-day 5-minute. We're not breaking out whatsoever quite yet. So watch out for United Health Group. If it starts moving, I'd say past 510, that's going to be a spot where a reversal could occur and sustain itself. Potentially. Nothing's guaranteed, guys. All these stocks, I'm just breaking down what could happen. Nothing is guaranteed, of course. That's the reality of the matter. Nothing is guaranteed in the stock market. Another Dow stock here that I'm looking at is McDonald's. And before we actually break down McDonald's, let's get into the sponsor of today's video, MooMoo. So it's MooMoo's 10-year anniversary, and to celebrate, they're doing a little something special here for a limited time. They're giving away $10 free guaranteed, plus up to 15 stocks, each up to $2,000. All you guys got to do is use that link down below or go to stocksurfest.com/MooMoo. Deposit at least $100, and again, you get $10 guaranteed, plus up to 15 stocks, each up to $2,000. Get your free money, link down below, and full disclosure, it helps out the channel as well, guys. And with that being said, let's dive back into the video. All right, guys, so check it out. McDonald's went down as well on the day, just like United Health Group, 1.6% red day, and now it's down about $15 off the highs. And finally, McDonald's is pulling down. It's down 5%. Honestly, it might have some more work on the downside. And the reason why I say finally is because this stock just got way overbought and went from $230 from the end of September, early October, all the way to $280 in the span of just over a month. And we're not talking about some crazy high growth stock, speculative stock, penny stock, or whatever. This is McDonald's running 20% in 40 days. This is it's too much, right? It got overstretched, overhyped, whatever you want to call it. Well, maybe not overhyped, but just overbought, too much buying pressure. Now we're starting to get, of course, some selling, which, again, rightfully so. We needed to see this, and we might come down even more. I'm looking at McDonald's anywhere between $255 to $260, maybe even $265, but I'm not going to rush it at $265. I'd rather get it more close to $255, $260. And this is more for a trade, a swing trade. All of these are for trades, guys. Let me say that right now. These are not for long-term investments for me personally. These are for trades. So let's see. McDonald's, $255, $60. That's where I'm going to be watching it. Another one that I'm looking at, which is on the brinks of breaking out, guys. It's right there. It is CCL, Carnival Cruise Line. Look at this. We are right now at, wait a second. Never mind. We just got some news after the bell, which I don't even know what the news is, but look at this stock. It is down 12% after the bell. What in the world is going on here? I was prepping this video, and I'm not going to edit this out. I was prepping this video. I had CCL on the list. I was going to say 1150. Watch for the break. That's been a resistance for 6 months, 5-6 months. But now, and mind you, CCL had a 5% green day, but now after the bell, they're getting destroyed. Did they report earnings? Did I miss something here? No, they didn't report earnings. They just did a couple weeks ago. Did they not? Yeah, let me see. What is going on here, guys? So it looks like they're doing some sort of offering of convertible senior notes here due 2027 for refinancing 2024 maturities. Yeah, I'm going to have to look a little bit deeper into that, guys. Maybe we'll do an update video maybe tomorrow on CCL, but looks like the markets are not liking that. We'll see what the official press release on their investor relations page looks like. Quite frankly, I'm not going to do that now. We're in the middle of filming this video, but, we'll see with what that brings maybe tomorrow to the markets. We'll see how this stock looks tomorrow, but right now, again, it is down 12%, and you could argue, hey, CCL was a bit overbought. It ran all the way to almost $12. Now we're down to the 50 moving average on the 4-hour chart, but with this news coming out, let's see how it plays out. Let's not rush anything crazy here with CCL. Another one that I want to look at is SYF. Let's pull that up. This is Synchrony Financial, which came down 5% on the day today. And mind you, look at this chart. We took the highs out just a couple days ago, or maybe yesterday. We took the highs out from the middle of August being about 36. The stock blew up to about $40, $41, and now we've pulled back, which makes sense. It got overbought. Now we pulled back. We're right by the moving averages. Let's see if buyers come in, or at least we consolidate here in the mid-30s. This would be a good spot for SYF to hold, considering not only it's the 50 SMA support, but also right around the highs from the end of May and the middle of August. If this point holds on SYF, this could be a nice potential bounce back play. In the short term, we shall see. But if it does fail at 36, I'll actually set my alert mark, or maybe 35 actually. Mark is at or below 35. If it fails at that point, we're probably going to start coming down to 32, 33. That would be my prediction there. And the last stock for the video, then we'll talk about some bonus ones quickly for all of you guys that stuck till the end. ALB, Albemarle, I don't even know how to say this freaking company. I found it on the on my research for this video as I was looking up stocks, right? This was a mover today, and not to the upside. It actually sold off 6.5%. And this is another one, kind of like SYF, where it was just overbought. It hit 340, which might be an all-time high for this company. I think it is. Let me double check. Yeah, I saw that. Even though I can't pronounce the company, I have seen this company before, and I've looked at the chart before. I just can't say. How do you say that? Albemarle? Albemarle. Whatever, guys. It is down $40 over the past couple of days, which is 15%, and it looks like we're holding trend right now, even though we had a 6.5% red day today. So really, this is just a continuation play, potential continuation play, if it holds the 295 mark, 290, and quite frankly, breaks back over 300. So I'm going to set my alert there right now. Mark is at or above $300. Let's do that. There we go. And I did want to do an update on Netflix and some other stocks that moved here on my watch list today. Netflix went up another 3.6% today, broke back over 310, and we closed above 310. That's a good sign. 310 was that high from the end of October. Now it looks like we want to fill the gap potentially to 325, 330, maybe even higher. That's not too bad. And the Chinese stocks today, man, look at that. Alibaba went up 11%, actually the most green stock on my watch list. And today marks the first day in about 2.5 months it is over the moving averages on the 4-hour chart, which is good. And we actually have Alibaba's earnings, I think tomorrow. No, in 2 days from now on Thursday in the morning. So make sure to subscribe. We're going to break down those earnings on this video, and hopefully the stock, well, I don't want to jinx anything, but let's see if the stock starts moving up after these earnings. We shall see. Maybe not. Who knows? I mean, again, I do not want to jinx it, which is why I'm not saying anything about it. And we also had Tencent today go up about, let's see here, 10.8, 11%. And just like Baba, this is also above the moving averages, but not for the first time in 2 months, for the first time, and we're talking 5 months, which is nuts. That's pretty crazy. And they also report earnings coming up here on the 16th, which is tomorrow morning before the market opens. So, yeah, we're going to be talking about Tencent tomorrow. Make sure you guys subscribe again to the channel. Hit that like button right now. Make sure to do that. Let's get at least 100 likes on this video because we failed to do that in yesterday's video. And if you guys haven't gotten your free money from MooMoo, don't forget you get $10 free cash coupon plus up to 15 stocks, each up to $2,000. Just use that link down below and deposit at least $100, and you could also get 12 stocks from Webull with any amount deposited. All those are linked down below. And with that being said, cheers, guys. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.